Hi all, I'm Diego Bonetto. I'm from Big Fag Press and I'm the project manager for Green Bands Art Walk. Green Bands Art Walk is a project that tries to bring forward the history of the green bands in Sydney and what they meant to this city and the development of this city. This video is going to document the whole process, the walks and the exhibitions.
The Green Bands Art Walk and exhibition commemorates the 40th anniversary of Sydney and New South Wales's green bands. It was a unique period from 1971 to 1974 when citizens decided that it was essential that they had a say in the shaping of the future of their city, and unless they did, the inner city of Sydney would basically be razed to the ground. Thousands of residents would be evicted, and we would have essentially a cookie-cutter international style city. The Green Bands Art Walk arose from an idea called democratic domain that Fiona McDonald and I were working on at Cross Art Projects. We were able to realise this as in an expanded form when Big Fag Press moved into the neighbourhood. So we were able to join forces essentially to realise this project about the 40th anniversary of the Green Bands. The key project collaborators were myself, artist Fiona McDonald, and the Big Fag group, who are Diego Bonetto, Pat Armstrong, Lucas Island and Mickey Quick. The artists were in the two exhibitions were essentially divided into two groups. There were the artists who were commissioned to make unique works about this process and this event, who were the aforementioned, joined by Minigraph, who's a local stencil artist and of great renown. And I was able to, through research, contact the very eminent photographer Marion Marison and the filmmaker Pat Fisk. So they were really our historical linchpins. And then there were a group of artists who filled my curatorial brief, which was representing the actual Green Bands period of 1971 to 1975 and a contemporary response. So these 71 to 75 people were Marion Marison, Pat Fisk, a wonderful map, an extraordinary map by Michael Davies that he did by hand and painstaking research on who owned what in the neighbourhood in 1971 and a few other historic artefacts. The key green band sites were captured on our map that was called a civic survey, and we numbered about 34 of them. So each of these 5 walks took a particular direction to these key sites depending on the 5 or 6 speakers who were speaking to this particular walk. So each walk was unique, but each walk told a part of the story. So there were no experts, but through the walking and through the experience, in the present day, you also became part of this history. So it was the experts plus the physical act of walking and experiencing these spaces that made this artwork. And it was always conceived and imagined as a unique artwork. We were able through this project to realise 3 magnificent prints. Pat Armstrong's Civic Survey of Victoria Street in Woolloomooloo, which is essentially the project catalogue. It's a 2-page catalogue, and Fiona McDonald's 2 green band prints, which are summaries of the key events and underlying significances. And these were reprinted on Big Fag Press. And are essentially the documents that mark this particular event, the 40th anniversary. The Green Band Art Walks ran between the 2 exhibition bookends at Cross Art and at the depot. We were fortunate to have a great array of speakers on art, architecture, urban design, and the names, again, in no particular order: Minigraph. We were also joined by, the Victoria Street expert group, who were Wendy Bacon, Meredith Bergman, Ian Millis, and then the Woolloomooloo expert group were the 2 different groupings, if you like. The Woolloomooloo group, we had of course the great voices of Jim Donovan, Edmund Campion were of course the people who had been there and were the leaders of the actual green bands themselves. We were joined by Jack Mundey and Joe Owens, two previous secretaries of the BLs. So we were lucky in that we had these great figures who were able to guide the particular project and to speak to it. They were joined by three significant architects, Col James, Michael Dysart and Michael Davies. We had Christopher Dean on urban planning, we had Stacey Myers, and on local history we had Philip Bolton, amongst other speakers. And of course the many different voices who chimed in on each walk and made this such an extraordinary process of storytelling, remembering and renewal in the present. The walks proved so successful, they were pretty much booked out in the first week. We put a finale event, the Green Bands Film Night at the Woolloomooloo Police Citizens Youth Club. So it was a great finale, a wonderful way to finish, and we had Pat Fisk speaking, Jack Mundey speaking a response, and Jim Donovan responding as well. Great night and very successful outcomes. What Jack Mundey and Joe Owens and the BL leadership achieved is unique, certainly in Australian history. It's a unique creative moment that transformed the way we think about about cities, about heritage, about conservation, and citizen participation in this. My aims with the project were to reconnect the areas that had been disconnected by massive infrastructure projects, the Eastern Suburbs Railway, the freeways that were running through it, to again look at these key sites and to think about how they should be commemorated and remembered. And the outcome of the project really was that what we think is needed is not just maintenance, but a unique green plaque signage system, and that this could run through the inner city so that these walks can be an ongoing way of remembering. Because unless there is a very conscious remembering of community history, it is inevitable that these things will be erased.
So I'll count you in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Green bands forever, green bands forever, green bands forever in Victoria Street. And they sang as they popped from Chicky Pop and Chicky Pop and green bands forever in Victoria Street.
Sydney, fighting for Victoria Street, to keep a watch by the sycamore tree. They are sycamores, you know, folks, and the green bands will stay on fellows and their property. Green bands forever in Victoria.